Tails and Scales, The Empty Throne, Chapter 15, To Journey with a Small Princess. Silvus finds himself back riding along the road southwest on the surface to continue on his journey to Padalot. Based on his surroundings, he is still in the middle of the northern swamp of Tricia. Lucky for him, it is still daylight, so no predators are around. One must still be on guard for those who hunt during the day, however. Following behind Silvus is Iko, his cousin, who hopes to meet the Knights of the Mist to earn a purpose, and Fi Jin, the kobold princess of Shima, who decided to tag along in order to learn of the surface world, as well as being a reminder of Silvus's promise. Ever since she joined up, Fi gazes around as if she is in dreamland. Living underground most of her life, she is most fascinated with the bright blue sky above, almost covered by trees. She turns her head to the purple glowing river with a gasp.
By the root, that river is so sparkly.
That, dear princess, is what we raptors call the mist stream. It is says that whoever drinks from it will be granted the power to perform mistcraft.
You think I could drink from it and use those powers like your cousin?
Fi peeps up, looking excited at the thought of using supernatural powers. Would you like to take a drink and see if you could? It is literally right next to us right now, Silvus offers, pointing at the glowing river right next to them on their right.
That will be so fab.
Fi once again beams, making Iko smile, showing that he enjoys her high-spirited personality. So the cousins decide to make a quick stop to test whether Fi, a kobold, can attain the power of mistcraft. First, they get off their snugwanas and hitch them up to a nearby tree so they won't wander off. Then they look around to make sure no predators, bandits, rebels, or shady riders are nearby. Finally, they walk near the purple mist stream of Tricia. Fi drops onto her knees and uses her stubby claws to cup some of the mist-filled water.
First kobold to use mistcraft, here I come,
she boasts, then sips the water. The water must be very refreshing from the way she reacts in relief after drinking. She stands up and closes her eyes to brace herself if something is supposed to happen. Instead, they only hear cricket sounds from the nearby bushes. A flock of big dragonflies fly around a bush and eats a mosquito. Nothing happens to Fi, making Silvus sigh in disappointment.
What is wrong?
Fi asks the mist expert. Your veins and eyes are supposed to start glowing immediately, but it seems the mist can't adapt into your body, Silvus explains, looking down with a claw on his snout, as if he is ashamed.
What do you mean?
Fi asks him, worried. She really wants to know what is wrong. I believe my cousin means that you're one of the few creatures who do not have the mist gene, Iko sadly guesses. He hopes that Fi will be able to perform mist powers. There are many theories about how certain creatures are cut off. One popular theory is that there are some creatures who are never touched by mist, like the tritop, since the growing period. So I believe because your ancestors lack a mist gene, your bodies are incapable. So I am afraid at this point drinking mist stream to you is like drinking water. Silvus sadly lectures.
Oh, bummer,
Fi moaned sadly. She looks at Iko and asks him,
Can you do this mistcraft?
I know a few spells, but I choose not to do them. It's just very, very mind exhausting.
Mind exhausting?
Fi asks Iko, wondering what he meant. Silvus is about to answer until he hears the sound of banging drums deeper into the wall of thick trees, covered by a misty fog in front of them. Do you guys hear that?
Ooh, it sounds like a party is going on,
Fi squeals, earning a nervous chuckle from Iko. I don't think it is the beat of a party, princess. More like a beat of war, Iko nervously states, turning his attention to Silvus. What do you think it is? There is only one way to find out, Silvus clarifies, and performs the ice gust with his claw in a soft motion. From his claw, a stream of ice blows into the mist stream to form a bridge so the gang can cross. Silvus and the gang travel deeper into the swamp until they come across a wetland opening. In their sight are two armies in a standoff. Not wanting to be seen, Silvus has Eiko and Fi hide behind a patch of tall green grass so they can see what is going on. To his right, Silvus sees an army of Tristian militia lined up in formation, being led by a young Delta Lord of another settlement he is not familiar with. Standing in front, he can see the purple cape the Delta Lord is wearing, compared to the lightly armored militia. Both the Delta Lord and the militia behind him have weapons drawn at the ready, while keeping their focus on the enemy in front. To the left, Silvus sees the Manchester rebels in greater number, marching toward the militia. The rebels have their weapons drawn ready, while the war drums continue to beat. Compared to the militia, the rebels are shown to be better equipped. Bigger weapons and armor in good condition make the defenders look outdated. Leading the rebels is a Delta Lord, middle-aged, riding on a Snaguana, looking very proud, showing off his shiny silver steel armor, with a bushier orange mane on his helmet. The rebel leader looks smug, believing that he can easily win the battle, since the militia are shown to have fewer numbers than his own. The militia leader tries his hardest to not look scared, wanting to be an example for his troops. He looks down at his troops to see expressions of fear by the way they shook their bodies. Back in the middle of the tall grass, Fi asks, wanting to know what is going on.
Whose side are we supposed to root for?
The bad guys are the Manchestians, wearing orange, while the Tricians, the guys we are rooting for, wear purple. Eiko explains to Fi while pointing at each one to identify them. While Eiko continues to explain what is going on to Fi, Silvus continues to focus on the armies, feeling uneasy. In his mind, he begins to question how long he and his cousin stayed in Shima. One thing he knows is that the civil war for the Alpha King's throne has begun. "Positions ready!" Silvus hears the rebel Delta Lord command his troops, making the drumming sound stop. Then the rebel troops get into sprinting positions. Swords, axes, and maces raised in the middle, spears, pikes, and halberds pointed in the front lines. Then the archers at the back lines aim their arrows toward the bright blue sky. "Spirit wills it!" the rebel leader calls out with all his might, leading the charge while his troops make roaring shrieks as they follow suit, while the rebels run like a stampede of Brontos, splattering the wet ground. Silvus turns his gaze back to the militia leader, who looks to his archers with a desperate face. "Archers!" he fearfully calls out. The militia archers draw their bows and arrows, with the captain telling them to hold with an arm signal. They wait for the rebels to get to center. Then the captain thrusts his arm forward, commanding the archers to fire. The archers release their arrows to fly into the sky at the same time. The arrows fly like a swarm of gilgawasps swarming in to make their sting. The arrows fly down at the charging rebels, killing those who have no chance of protection, while those with shields block them. Believing they have weakened them, the militia leader draws his own sword and points it forward with a thrust and yells, "Spirit wields it!" making his militia charge back at the rebels. From a distance, Silvus and the gang watch the two armies collide into the center. Hearing the bashing sounds of each other's weapons, they see both sides are fighting with utmost brutality, already seeing blood being spilled. Fi's bright blue face starts to turn green as she feels herself getting sick. Watching how barbaric the battle between the two raptor armies is, she covers her snout with her claws and turns around. Walking away, Eiko follows suit, worried about her condition. Silvus keeps his gaze on the battle ahead, still looking uneasy. He sees one raptor get axed on the face between the eyes, while another is stabbed by a spear from behind. Not bearing to see it anymore, Silvus turns to his cousin, who is helping Fi vomit behind a bush due to seeing the barbaric battle. "Come on, guys, we need to get back to the main road. and fast, he tells him with a worried voice. In agreement, they decide to head back to the main road. Silvus takes one more peek at the battle, only to see the Tricians suffering more casualties. Back on the main road, Silvus and the gang continue on their journey. While he continues to lead, he cannot get the battle off his mind. It shows him that he really needs to haul his tail, not only for his mother's sake, but also his uncle, other cousin Sulfi, and his best friend Tritus. The thought of them being harmed sends a shiver down his spine. Silvus turns his head back to check on Iko and Fi. He sees Iko riding his mount with his eyes on Fi, who is resting her head on his cousin's shoulders, still recovering from her vomit spree. He turns his head back, refocusing on the main road in front. Silvus looks up at the sky to see it getting dark, meaning nightfall is coming. As much as he wants to continue, the last time he checked, he is still in the swamp. He has 3 options. 1. Stop and make camp. 2. Continue on and pray that predator or bandit will not ambush on the way. And 3. Hope to spot a settlement nearby so they can stay at an inn for the night. A growling sound is heard, making Silvus stop his mount, putting both claws into his stomach as if he got a bellyache. He looks back to Iko and Fi, also stop in their track, looking at him. Getting hungry too, cousin? Iko asks with a desperate tone, showing he is hungry as well.
Stopping for food and rest will be nice,
Fi states, getting better and lifting her head up. Silvus looks to his right and left. To his left, he scans around the tall trees, hoping to find a good place to camp, away from danger. He spots one large tree with an opening at least 20 feet away and tells them, I think I found a good spot for us to camp, guys. Where? Iko asks him, trying to find the spot he's talking about. Follow me and you will see. Silvus turns his mount to gallop to the tree with Iko and Fi following suit. In front of the trees, Silvus tells Iko and Fi to wait and gets off his snaguana. Slowly he approaches the opening, but it is too dark to see. As much as he wants to use a fire spell, he is too afraid. He turns around to call out for Iko, knowing he knows the spell. Iko gets off his mount, telling Fi to keep watch, while he walks up to Silvus, who somehow needs him for something. What's wrong? Iko asks Silvus. With a nervous smile, Silvus asks back, You know how to make a fireball spell, right? Yeah, why? I thought you know a lot of Iko pauses, seeing how Silvus is looking at him. A paranoid look. You want me to do it for you, do ya? Iko folds his arms, giving his older cousin a smirk, knowing why he wants him to do the spell. Yes, Iko, just do it, Silvus demands quietly, desperate for Iko to do the act. Alright then. Iko moves his right claw below and his left above. He moves his left claw in a clockwise motion, forming a ball of fire, making Silvus step back in fear. Iko gives a small laugh as he moves his right claw, holding onto the fireball into the tree cave to see a big empty space, perfect for both of them and their snaguanas to hide for the night. How is it inside? Silvus asks Iko. Iko decides to make a little prank. With a toothy grin, he slowly moves out. It's safe, cousin, but the better question is, are you? He thrusts his fireball at Silvus' face, making him fall back with a scream. Landing on the wet floor, Silvus gets up with his upper body, making a glaring hiss at Iko, who bursts into laughter. That's not funny, he scolds his younger cousin. Sorry, dude, but you need to get over this fear you have of fire. Iko does a counterclockwise motion with his left claw, putting out his fireball. Many years have passed, and you are still afraid of fire? Ha ha! I will do that only if you start to grow up. Silvus gets up on his feet and nudges his cousin with a scoff. That only makes Iko laugh some more. As Silvus approaches the Saguanas, Fi, who sits on Iko's, asks him,
You sure you guys are cousins? You two seem to be more like brothers.
No, Fi, Iko and I are cousins, but we do live together because my mom and my uncle, who are sister and brother, do so as well. Silvus explains while he takes the leash of his snaguana and guides it to the big tree, leaving Fi a bit confused.
If your mom and uncle live together, are you two nobles?
She guesses, while Iko approaches her. Correct, princess. Silvus and I are part of an important clan of nobles. My dad actually works for his mom as a steward.
So your aunt is like a clan leader or something?
I think my egghead of a cousin could explain more about this political stuff than I can, Iko tells her, while he takes the leash off his own mount. Nightfall is getting close. Inside the large tree, a campfire is set up in the middle, and the snaguanas are hatched up safely inside, resting on the ground. Silvus is seen sitting at least 7 feet away from the fire, while he explains the political nature of his kingdom to Fi, who sits a bit closer trying to listen. Iko, however, is not present due to volunteering to hunt food.
Let me get this straight. You and Iko are part of one of the ruling clans that govern for an Alpha King's behalf?
That's right. Iko and I are Clan Vessel, the ruling clan of the Magalo Betadom, with my mom as the Beta Lady.
That sounds interesting. Does that mean you are supposed to be the next Beta Lord?
Fi guesses with a snap of her fingers. That's right, Silvus gives her a thumbs up. And I had planned to make Iko my new steward. But now with the war going on, Silvus leans back with a sigh, thinking about the war going on.
Why exactly are you guys at war, anyway?
Fi finally asks, regarding the battle earlier. With an uneasy face, Silvus struggles in his mind how he is going to explain briefly. He reaches a gloved claw behind his back and takes out the wrapped package. He gives the package a quick gaze. Do you really want to know? He asks her. Fi nods, eager to know about surface affairs. With that, Silvus tells her about the sudden death of the Alpha King and the events that led to where they are now. The rumors, the riots, bandit attacks, the royal army doing nothing, and finally how he and Iko were forced out of their home. He even tells her why he has this particular package. Fi's face is priceless. She is a bit horrified, yet sympathetic at the same time. Fi is going to say something until the voice of Iko calls out, Hey guys, we are having Anklo tonight. Silvus and Fi turn their attention to see Iko entering their temporary campsite with a big bag. He throws it right by the campfire, allowing the wrapping to open up, revealing a big Ankilo corpse with an arrow hole to the neck. So, what have you guys been talking about? Iko asks them as he puts down his bow and arrows. He kneels with one knee, taking out a knife in his left claw. He is going to skin the meat until Fi latches him into a hug, looking dramatically sad. You okay, princess? Iko asks the sobbing princess, who looks at him with tears.
You poor thing, forced out of your home at a time like this.
Fi sobs, making Iko look to his cousin, confused, earning a shrug in return. The gang begins to feast on the cooked steak by the fire still lit. By the spirits or the root, it is good. As he ate, Silvus cannot believe a raptor like Iko is capable of hunting a large, armored herbivore. Perhaps he remembers how good he was with a bow and arrow back at Shima. He takes one more bite from his steak and asks, You know, Iko, how did you learn how to hunt and cook? Taking one more bite of his own with a swallow. Iko answers, My mother used to teach me when I was young. She thought I should learn some of her heritage as a means for me to survive if I ever get lost. You mean Auntie Oria? Your dad told me she is back in Jurassic right now, Silvus clarifies.
Oh, what is your mom like? What noble clan is she from?
Fi jumps in, eager to know more about Iko's family. My mom has no clan name, for she is an Omega, a commoner, Iko answers, taking another bite from his steak.
Your mom is a what?
Fi freaks out, making the two cousins shush her, so predators, bandits, or unwanted guests won't hear them, due to it being nightfall outside. Yes, princess, my mom is an Omega, and yes, it is allowed for raptor nobles and Omegas to marry, as we don't believe in this ridiculous claim of blood purity, Iko tells her, trying to sound quiet. Fi looks at Silvus with an expression demanding an explanation. realizing he had not told her about how their caste system works. He decides to give a quick lecture for the rest of the night. The following morning, Silvus continues to lead the group in a rapid pace. While he rides, he can hear Iko explaining to Fi the caste system.
So you Raptors believe having offspring with Omegas make your bloodline stronger?
He hears Fi ask Iko, trying to get a better understanding. Correct. We believe noble blood hungers for weaker blood. When breeding with Omegas, who have the weakest blood, offspring always inherit noble blood. Thus, we inherit the highest caste for one of our parents.
And because your dad is the higher caste, you would inherit his caste?
Iko nods yes at Fi's response. Indeed, princess. It allows mom to live with us. But because she's still an Omega at the end of the day, she is still not allowed to dwell in political stuff. Iko and Fi continue to discuss the Raptor caste system, while Silvus keeps his focus on the road in front, starting to see large oak trees and neon-colored grass, hinting that they are getting near Ceronian Heart, the heartland of the kingdom. Eventually, they come across a large stone wall with large gates blocking their path, forcing them to stop.
Why did we stop?
Fi asks. Look up, Silvus tells her, pointing upward on the wall, showing 2 black flags of the kingdom hanging. That is the royal border, a large wall system built to divide the betadoms, so the royal army could be stationed to keep watch, Silvus briefly explains. Iko scoffs and blurs out. The way I see it, they're not doing a good job right now. From the top railings of the wall, a royal guard captain walks up along with 2 other guards and calls out, Greetings, travelers! If you three are seeking passage to Ceronian Heart, I am afraid we have orders to keep the border closed due to the war going on. The shout was loud enough to gain the attention of the gang. With all eyes gazing at the royal guards, they see the guards wearing plated armor with black feather helmets. The one wearing the shoulder pads is assumed to be the captain, due to the belief that higher-ranking guards are more heavily armored. Why so, Captain? We are on an urgent mission to Padalot on behalf of the Beta Lady of Magalo. Silvus tries to plead with the guard captain on the wall. Urgent mission? The guard captain crosses his arms. I am the Beta Lady's son. She wants me to deliver this package to the Mystatorium as soon as possible. Silvus takes the package from his back. The guard captain only makes a small laugh, showing that he does not believe him. Nice try, kid. I heard news that Magalo was taken over by them lousy rebels. They have a new beta now. What? Silvus shouts out. He kind of expected that the rebels would place a puppet beta on the throne to support their efforts. He knows full well that his mother would never cooperate with her invaders. Is there any way we can convince you to let us through? He further pleads, knowing that the guard might be too stubborn to argue with. Back on the wall, one of the guards taps his captain on the shoulder and tells him, You know, Captain, what about we have them take care of some bandits camped right by Shirasik? I heard they captured a group of merchants. The captain thinks about it, scratching his chin and tapping his foot. He walks up, back to the ledge to tell Silvus and the gang, Tell you what, kid, there are a group of bandits eastward of here, with a group of merchants being held captive. You 3 look like capable fighters, so if you rescue the merchants, I'll let you all cross through. Deal? Deal, Silvus blurs out without thinking. He's so desperate to make it to Padalot that he would do anything, even take an opportunity to do some hero stuff along the way. His choice earns him stares from Iko and Fi that ask whether he is crazy. Well then, the bandits are seen camped right by the portal of Shirasik. The captain points eastward. And be careful, they don't look like the typical bandits we have seen. With that, Silvus leads the gang eastward in order to hunt down the bandits and save the merchants as soon as possible. To Silvus, it is for the sake of his mother, while Iko and Fi continue to catch up. End of chapter 15. Be sure to place a like, fave, subscribe, and spread the word. Bye.